Well, hello folks. Been a while since we made a video. We've had problems with YouTube. They knocked the comment section out. We're trying to get that restored and everything. There's been a lot of people that's had their videos and even their site pulled because of algorithm or whatever. So we're going to try to not to put anything in that they don't like, so to speak. But anyhow, today we're going to show you how to reconstitute a damaged tub and to make a fully ready to go one out of this broke one. See, it's got a big split here, and it's got a big split right here. This is no problem, that's what we want actually. But what I did, I go in and I took my tape and measured down here 5 inches and marked this around this tub, and took my Sawzall and I cut 4 slots in here. This is so it'll let it have a little flexibility when you shove it to the bottom of this new tub. And then I slotted it here for air, and then I traced it out with my pen. But what you want to do, guys, you don't want to put this flat side on. You want to take this angle where you cut your 45 that goes in the bottom. That's the one you want to trace out. The reason why, because when you put it in, see how it leans more toward the outside of the tub. So I'm gonna leave this on the ground where Sissy can come in here and get a better shot of it. And we're gonna take this and we're gonna come right in here with it. And this is how it fits in there. See, it fits pretty snug. Now we're gonna go right on down in there with it. See how that's bottoming out? That's what you want right there. And if it's buzzed a little bit, it's no big deal. But you can see and then that's gonna allow your soil and everything to wick around this edge and then up through these slots. And if you're real picky about your tube here, you can put a little shot of silicone or something in there to seal that. So now what we're going to do, we're going to put a piece of screen in there. This is just a window screen. You can use anything that's porous you can put in there. So I'm just going to kind of just set it around there. It doesn't have to be tacked down or glued down or anything, because that's going to serve the purpose right there. And so now what I'm going to do is set this up here, and I'm going to put a drain in this, but not just any drain. Usually we just put a hole in, but with this system you're going to have to bridge it. You're going to have to bridge it through this tub into that old tub. So what I'm going to do, remember you need 1 inch. You need 1 inch of airspace up here above your water reservoir. So we know we went 5. Get a little more tape there to work with. We know we went 5, so I'm going to go 4 inches and drill that hole through into that other chamber. So this should let this tube seal real good in here. And there you go with that. Get her tube, and you can put as much as you want back in there. It's not going to affect it. I might have to drill it a little harder to get it through. But what we want it sealed, but it's not going through there. Let me get it again. No wonder. Now it's through there. Okay, that should go right in. Yeah. Seal here. Ah, I see what it did. There it went. Now we got it. Now just kind of force that on in. Leave that. Now that's self-sealed itself. You match the bit to your tube. I used a piece of broke fishing rod. You can use 3/8 gas line, the black line like you put on your lawnmower. You can use anything that you think that you can get in there and it'll seal off. But that's going to work great. So now what we're doing, we're running this, we're mixing compost with this, and this is a real good mix, and it's pretty inexpensive, and it's compressed pack. So you get 2 bags out of this 1 cubic feet, so it's really pressed in there tight. I've already got some mixed up. If you can't find this at your garden centers, pull this Pro Mix up online and show it to them and ask them if I can order it for you. But this has got the aeration that you want. It's got a lot of porosity, but I mixed some more perlite in. I didn't think it had quite enough, so we like it to be real airable so it'll wick good. So now we're going to take this tub in. We're going to fill this up with our soil mix. Make sure I get that strain around there pretty good. I'm pretty eager to see how this is going to work because this is recycling the old tubs that are busted. Now you can get a kit already ready to go. Walmart's got a real big one. We priced them. What were those? Only $65 plus tax. And I'm not saying they're not good, but I hope you don't need very many of them. That's going to run into a lot of money. So now we're putting this Pro Mix in. And I've got a little bit of biochar mixed in here too. I want to see if that makes a difference. So go on that. This stuff is really light. Once you get it broke down and mixed up, it's got coconut coir in it. Plus we got a lot of our aged compost that we made in here too. And we've been planting all last week. We've been planting spinach, radish, lettuce, Asian greens, and cauliflower, or not cauliflower, we got broccoli, and kale, collard, and the giant kohlrabi. We wanted to try the bigger ones because they store better through the winter when you harvest them. So I'm going to take this in, and we're going to put a little bit of fertilizer in the top here. And you notice what you want to do is I've got that turned wrong. You'll make sure you've got this where you can see it when it fills. So that's why you want it. It doesn't matter where this tube is really, just as long as you got it lined up where you need it. So we're going to put a little bit of this composted chicken in. And then we'll go ahead and top it off with some more soil. Then we're going to show you what our tomatoes and cucumber stuff looks like that we put in back in July. Use almost all this up. Should have gotten a bucket or something instead of doing it this way, but oh well. But we had a good tomato crop this year. We estimate about 400 pounds is about what we picked. And that's probably shooting under it a little bit. So that's not bad there. You don't have to get them brim full, but that looks pretty good. And I usually take my little scoop there and kind of tamp that a little bit just to get it level, so when you put your seed in there, we'll just sprinkle some over the top. We'll get ready to plant that. So we got all kinds of radish, the alpine and the Rover's the red one, French breakfast. I mean, we won't plant all of these. This Rover makes pretty quick. I think it 21 days. So that's if you want a quick one. These daikon ones, these hybrid like this alpine, that one's 55 days. But they'll hold in your greenhouse structure all winter. And if it looks like it's going to really get cold, just come out, cut the tops off, and fill your tub on up and cover them. And they should make it through winter just fine. And this is the spinach we planted, this caramel from Johnny's. We got that on a sale last year for $5 for 5,000 seeds. Can't beat that. So then we got some tubs right down here, and I've got this Miracle Grow shaking feed. That's pretty much the same as what we just put on. I'm gonna put a little layer of that. And we're gonna start planting carrots this week too. We got a bunch of them we're gonna plant. So these tubs are already ready to top off and plant. So, Sissy, if you want to come around this way, because we're gonna show them this tomato right here. I want you guys to look at the tomatoes in this thing. This is a yellow plum saladette. It reminds you of Juliet variety, but it's yellow when it ripens. And these are a hybrid, but right here's the best cluster. Look at that. I hope everybody can see it. The sun's hitting it pretty good, but on a good year, they make a lot of tomatoes, and they make a real nice sized tomato for your salads and whatever. And then we got Florida 91. They're just now setting fruit, really. They don't got a ton on, but now these do. These are Cherokee Carbon. They're still setting fruit. There's a huge cluster. Those didn't set. But these other ones up in the top, you can see where they've been setting fruit. So we had enough really hot weather there that they didn't want to set fruit. It was like 110 out here some days. So, but all of these are heat varieties. Every one of these we planted in July. So they're getting a little wilty. We're gonna have to fill our tubs here in a little while. But now there's some more that's just setting fruit. They're gonna be too late, I'm afraid, if we get an early frost. But we should be able to cover the greenhouse and they should make it just fine. And that's what we're gonna do next. We're gonna be prepping. So this is gonna show you cucumbers right here on the vine. Those have just started setting. Those are all picklers. We got one over there for some reason. Looks like the leaves are wilted real bad, like something's been eating them. That's a probability. We've had a lot of trouble with grasshoppers this summer. And we've had tomato hornworm, which we were able to get a handle on those. They did a little damage, but not enough, you know, to hurt the tomato plants too bad. All right, Sissy, show them this little grow system here. Now, this doesn't have a wick in it. You can see where we filled this bottom third up with nothing but perlite. And then we came on top with our potting mix, and we put our garlic chives in here. There's 4 plants. I started them in 4-inch pots. This will be our stash for our house, so when we want to put them on a baked potato or in our fried potato or whatever you want to add them to, instead of using cloves of garlic, we found this works really good and it tastes great. So then we've got our broccoli here. We're going to plant some of that in here. This is Godzilla, the variety from Hoss Tools. If you remember back in the spring, it made some really nice heads of broccoli. So we'll be planting some of this. We've already got some out here on the ground. And we've been planting our raised beds with a lot of, like I say, Asian greens. If you haven't tried those, guys, you should, because I wouldn't say it's so much a cooking green. You can mix them with kale or whatever, but they're really good in salad. Pick them young and just chop them up with your spinach and lettuce and make a mix. And I mean, it's really got a lot of good flavor and it's got a lot of vitamins and nutrients. So we thought we'd give you guys another video. We've been way too long making one, but it's been so hot. It's really, unless we did them early in the morning or whatever, we'd have burned up trying to do it. I'm sweating now out here, but just a heads up on this tub. That's a good way to recycle your tubs that's damaged. Now you can patch them. I did patch some with what's that?
Flex
Seal. You know, the paste works really good. Get a putty knife and just go on both sides of that crack, and it'll seal them up. You can get another year or two out of them. But these rectangle tubs here, now this is a different story. If you want to make a bottom like I just made this round one, what you're going to have to do is go to Home Depot or Walmart or somewhere and get you some of these clear tubs here. And then take a measurement in the bottom. You want to measure at bottom, not top. It's wider at the top. Measure that bottom and get a tub that's a little bit bigger and do the same thing. Come in here and cut that sucker off and that'll be your water chamber. And do the same thing I did with that round one, and just put it in, slide it, and put your bridge tube in and your fill tube, and you're ready to rock and roll. So we thought we'd give you that idea. There's always a way around to save money on building these things, and just like with these ones, see, we were making them. Here's one. See, this one has fabric to isolate. Now we got spinach already coming up, honey, look. Now, this one has milk jugs in the bottom of it with this fill tube running in the top of here. Well, some of them's worked okay, and they're cheap to build that way. And then some of them, like that one has never worked right from day one. I mean, it still grows produce okay, but just a heads up, they don't always work like you think if you improvise and use milk jugs or whatever. You can use water bottles, you can use old detergent bottles if you wash them out good. Don't leave soap in them, but we'll be redoing this one and probably planting carrots in that, because I think all these we're getting ready to put lettuce and different stuff into that. So just letting you guys know, if the comments don't work, bear with us. We're trying to get it back up. So see you on the next video. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and we'll make you know.